Citrix is application virtualization. Many companies are using it to offer, to provide applications to their complete environment, not only internally but externally as well. In Citrix, you don't have to install applications on each and every PC. Citrix offers those applications to their clients, and clients starts using it. So the biggest advantages of Citrix are you don't have to wait for the client installation. Most of the time, you don't need to worry about what is on the client. Is it compatible? Is it not compatible? And all those things. So in our environment, just a second, let me set up this thing.
So we make three CTX 3 also. We make another.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll leave that as is for now.
2008 server.
Yes. Okay, so in this, here we have a client machine. We have a domain controller. Our domain controller is our Citrix license server as well. So on this server, as far as Active Directory is concerned, we have ADDS role on this. We have DNS role on this. DNS is there. ADDS is there. We also have Citrix on this. So Citrix
license, right?
Citrix license is there. Citrix license is there on this. Now the second one is just a member. We all know that. It is MEM, member. And then it is Citrix Zen app. So this is Citrix Zen app. And this server is a session controller. This is a session controller and session host. So this server is a session controller and session host. This one is a session controller and session host, whereas the third one is a member. It is a Citrix server, Citrix Zen app. It is Citrix Zen app server, and this one is also a session controller and session host. And in few minutes, I'm gonna give you the differences. What is session controller? What is session host? For now, both of them are session controllers and session host. Session host. Guys, the third one, the client one, and I also asked you to create a third server, which is Citrix 3. Citrix 3 we don't need at the moment, but keep it ready all the time because we're going to use it in load balancing. But for now, the third machine is Canap's client. This Canap's client, guys, it will be a member. So here, this is session controller and session host.
Okay, web
session controller, session, and you're right, it is also a web interface as well. So this first one is also a web interface. So it has three Citrix roles in there. It is a Zen app server. It is a session controller, session host, web interface. This one is session controller and session host. Now, session controller is another name for ZDC. The machine that is a data collector, it is also known as session controller. So it is a DC, and this one has a session controller, but then there will be an election between both of them. So And I'm going to explain that in a moment. So for now, member, Citrix ZenApp. This has 3 roles. This has 2 roles, session controller, session host. This one has additional web interface. And guys, the reason why I need the client, from the client, we are going to just use it as Citrix management console. So on this one, we are going to install Citrix. Guys, Citrix ZenApp cannot be installed on clients. This is one thing. Citrix ZenApp, you cannot have a ZenApp server as on a client machine. But this one will be a management console. This will act as a management console.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So ZenApp, I'm gonna check that. Okay. And so Citrix ZenApp, Citrix ZenApp management console. So in this, it will be yes, a receiver as well. So this will be a management console.
So same like receiver, or receiver is different?
No, receiver is different, and this is receiver. This is management console, and it will have Citrix receiver. Okay, so now let's understand these components, and let's understand. Let's quickly. So let's spend like 2 minutes. We have already spent a review time. So let's spend just 2 minutes reviewing everything. So far, what we know is, guys, main purpose of Citrix in any organization is to provide applications without installation. A quick deployment of application, a quick deployment of a different type of application within your environment. Okay, fine. So here. So first of all, guys, whenever we think about Citrix in any environment, Citrix ZenApp starts from application. If you don't need application in your environment, you don't need Citrix. But if you do need Citrix, if you do need application, so basically here I'm gonna say in our environment we're gonna need Word, we are going to need WinZip. So our thoughts starts from what application needs to be deployed. So applications can be deployed manually. You take a CD, bring a CD to a machine, insert the CD, start the application, next, done. But then in the first day we saw that there are many constraints with that. For example, the target machine might not be compatible. Target machine might not have a disk space. Target machine is older machine and newer software cannot. So there are many things. So for that reason, you cannot install some applications on some places. Guys, then at this point, what we did, we thought of installing ZenApp. So this is our ZenApp server. So then I'm going to say A, and then so first ZenApp server. Now ZenApp server is the one in which you're going to host this machine. So a host application. So basically, your Word is going inside, and your WinZip is going inside these machines. So you have these two applications in the ZenApp server. And guys, when you go with ZenApp server is not like a DHCP that you add a role and it starts working. No, it comes with its own infrastructure. It has its own infrastructure. When it comes to infrastructure, so few things are very important. For example, you have to have a licensing server. So here I'm going to say this is Citrix license server. Citrix license server, and then definitely we're going to have Citrix data store. We are going to have Citrix data store, and then here we're going to have Citrix web interface. So this is our Citrix web interface. Now, very simple. How it works is, and with all this, you also need a domain controller. So here you have our DC as well. So these are the basic things that you need in order to run this application. So the client who needs this application connects to the web interface, number 1, through a port number 80, guys. This is important to know. Port number 80, and the service so The service it is using here is HTTP. It is HTTP service. So when the client connects to web interface, it uses port 80. Service protocol is HTTP. From here, web interface it gets connected to the ZenApp server that is a data collector. We know that. So the very first server in your environment is a DC, and this DC is different from this DC. This is your domain controller, and this one is data collector. So data collector helps you. Data collector helps you with the with few things. So here, data collector. So data collector. Now, data collector helps us first of all load balancing. It helps us load balancing. Data collector will see which server is more loaded and the information. So here, a few things. Again, we discussed that before. So it is kind of load balancing.
Information.
It does help. It has dynamic information, dynamic info, and it helps in authentication.
LHC, what's called
Data collector.
partial database.
No, but that is not a responsibility of data collector. That is overall things sitting in it. So here, client connects from here to here, and web interface connects to the ZenApp server. And guys, ZenApp server, it connects over from here. The first time when it is going, it connects to this over port 80. And the protocol it is using at this point is XML. XML. So from web interface to ZenApp server. Not from ZenApp server to ZenApp server. That is IMA. That is so ZenApp server to ZenApp server was IMA. Client to ZenApp server was ICA. But here you're connecting to from web interface to ZenApp server. That is XML service. So main purpose of XML service here is to take your request from here, because this client wants to connect open Word. Now this client is trying to open Word. So this client connects to the web interface. Basically, he's connecting to a web page, and from here, the client is now connecting here. So as soon as he clicks here, this request is, so first of all, he was connected through port 80, protocol was HTTP. And from here, ZenApp server took the request, and now this is not a simple request. This request has the user's username and password and what he is requesting. So for that, you have to have some special service, not just HTTP. HTTP is just an internet protocol, but XML is the service that takes the user's request. So XML has this request now. So this is kind of a request. And the request includes username and password of user and plus the application, the requested application. So application, I would say requested application. So two things are included in this request.
Can you use port 443? Port 443.
It can be used.
For external use.
It can be used. It can be used, yes. So guys, XML, this XML service, if somebody asks you, what is the main purpose of XML service in Citrix? Guys, main purpose of this is known as XML service, or sometimes it is called XML broker as well. It is sometimes known as broker. Just like a broker in a real life. Who is a broker? Brokers are agents who sits in the middle. They help you from one service to another service, right? The same purpose. This is a XML broker service. So it is also known as broker. This is also known as an XML broker service, guys. It works between a web interface and a ZenApp server. So basically, it is actually acting as an agent for this client. Acting as an agent for, because this client needed something, and all request and everything, it is here. So it made this request, and now this request is going to ZenApp server. From here, we already know the process. So from here, ZDC would take the request, and very first thing what ZDC does would authenticate the user. So go here. So this was 2, and this was 3. Here, it is doing authentication. If it is authenticated, yes.
So it goes between what? Two services? The XML? You said?
XML service is here from web interface to ZenApp. Web interface to ZenApp. Now ZDC is sending the authentication to a domain controller. If it is authenticated, the next stop for this is before it is given application open, it goes to the licensing service. So this is number 4.
I may.
And from here, yes, from here to here, now it starts talking in IMA or Citrix language.
Normal web, like ZDC and normal DC, Active Directory, they communicate simple TCP protocol.
What?
HTTP. SCTP? No. Active Directory.
Or between Active Directory.
ZDC. Which protocol use normal?
LDAP.
LDAP.
I'm going to write that.
Lightweight protocol.
Okay. So here, now from here to here, it is authentication. After it is authenticated, then it goes here on the licensing server. If license is available, guys, it is at this point where it opens a connection between directly the app server and the client. So this is number 5, and this is ICA protocol. So ICA is a direct connection between the client and the ZenApp server, because your application is basically hosted here. Now, once the client has a direct connection between ZenApp server and the client, now the work is done. So this is all done. Now it won't go to domain controller. It won't go to web interface. Now your application is open, and today we're gonna configure web interface and see how it works. So here, guys, we need to remember now. Just a quick review of IMA and ICA packets. IMA stands for Independent Management Architecture. It stands for Independent Management Architecture. And ICA, Independent Computing Architecture. How many channels are there? 32 channels are there. And what is basically channels? Channels are basically type of traffic that travels in that channel. So it can be audio traffic, it can be streaming traffic, video traffic, or it can be printing traffic. So it has those. And what is the main advantage of ICA? Why it got famous? It's the lightest protocol available to take things from one place to another. Now this is the current environment. Now if we kind of now expand it a bit. Now why would you need to expand it? Because this one server cannot bear the load of all your requests. For that reason, what you did, you added another ZenApp server. So you added second ZenApp server. Now, when you add a second ZenApp server, guys, the very first question during once it is, most of you have added second ZenApp server. The first question it would ask while adding that is it part of the default zone or is it part of a new zone? So basically, default zone already exists. So default zone already exists. If I show you my ZenApp server right here, so this is my ZenApp server, and if I go into my zone, in my default zone under zones, you have never configured a zone inside Citrix. But what happens is that as soon as the first time you install it, this default zone was automatically created. This one, default zone. The name is default zone. And if you go into the zone, you see both of your servers that are there.
When you install the additional data application, they ask for form, then zone.
First time you have to create the form.
Hold on.
Right or wrong?
No, this is right. But hold on. Don't mix it with the initial configuration. So it will ask you for the form, and you don't have to create a form. You will make it part of the form. Form was created when you installed the first ZenApp server. It won't create the form again. If it creates the form again, then it will be a totally different infrastructure.
It's just like Forest.
It is just like, so it will be, so it's the second. So when this ZenApp is created, which means now is which means now that these both machines are sitting in a default zone. So this is what we need to remember. So this is known as default zone. How do I know? Because when we go into XenApp, in XenApp, if you go to zones, if you expand this zone has both of the servers. Now this was added when you installed the servers because we never had any other zone. Today we're going to create more zones. One for Toronto, one for Montreal. And zone is for what? What is one word for zone? Physical sites. Physical sites. Whenever you have physical separation between sites, we start creating zones. So that we should have local traffic talking to local servers instead of Toronto users going to Montreal servers. So here, guys, so we have zone inside. Now, other than zone, we also know that there is a farm inside. So they are in a farm. They are in a farm. So they are in a farm. They are in a zone. And then one of them is a ZDC, and we're moving on now. So just looking at XenApp, yes, guys, keep checking your firewalls because firewalls won't let your XenApp server connect to your farm. So in Raza, maybe in your case, check your firewalls again and again because firewalls just switch on whenever you join a machine, whenever you move out a machine, and they would just kick in and they would start working. So in order to check a firewall, you right click on your network card and then go to the settings, and here you see the firewalls are there. So firewalls must be off. Now here I do have a zone, I do have a farm. Now let's expand the same architecture to a remote user. This was internal users. Internal user requesting an application, connects to web interface, connects to ZDC, connects to domain controller, connects to licensing server, and it's going on. Here, few things that we already know about data store. So this is our data store here. Data store, we already know it has a static Citrix configuration. Static configuration. This is known as a data store. So basically, the first time when you created this Citrix environment, data store was created for us. So this has static information, like it has how many Citrix servers. So it has Citrix servers, zones, other configuration. So it has all that information. We already know it's a static information. Now, other than that, on a XenApp server, we have LHC, local host cache information. So on these servers, we also have LHC and LHC. LHC, local host configuration. Now, guys, local host configuration. So here, let's see, LHC. What is LHC? Local host cache, not configuration. So it is local host cache. What is the main purpose?
You have the partial information for data store.
Partial subset of data store. Partial subset of data store. Now, where is it used? When would you use it?
When it's disconnected.
When it is disconnected from data store. So this much we already know. Guys, one more thing we need to know now. This information will be available for the next 96 hours. So for the next 96 hours, if data store is still not available, then they can keep on connecting to each other. But guys, if data store is not available, you can never make changes to data store. So they cannot make changes to LHC. LHC is just a view-only information. They can use it. And in LHC, what is in LHC? LHC tells them how many XenApp servers are in this zone, how many other zones are available, and how many other ZDCs are there. So all that information is there. But this information will expire in 96 hours. If within 96 hours you fix your ZDC, your data storage starts working, it will start working. It will again update the cache. If in next 96 hours your data store is still down, then they will completely stop working. Then they can't work.
When the 96 hours.
It is based on Citrix, its own architecture. So basically, this cache memory is available for the next 96 hours. For the next 96 hours, they would start working, they would start, these machines will keep on connecting to each other. Even they can connect to other zones as well. Now let's expand this a bit. Now when we expanded it, we said that we have external users. Now who are considered as external users?
Internet.
Any user who connect over internet. Any user who connect over internet. Any user who's sitting inside your company is not an external user. I mean, a user who is sitting outside your company and somehow connected to your company is not an external user. So external user definition is any user over the internet. So over the internet, when the user connects. So first of all, user is sitting here. So a user sitting here and another user sitting here. And they all, now since it is internet is risky. Internet is full of viruses. Internet is full of bandits. Internet is full of pirates. Internet is full of hackers. Yeah. So all that, in order to provide security, what we do is you have DMZ. But what about small companies? They can't afford DMZ. Small companies can't afford DMZ. What they do is, so before access gateway, guys, small companies have only one firewall. So small companies would have only one firewall. Now one firewall is they have only one gate between internet and them. But this is not known as DMZ. DMZ is defined as the area between two firewalls. Always remember. So this is if the company has one firewall, if the company has what? One firewall, it is protected. So it is protected. They have a fire, but they don't have DMZ. DMZ is when the area between two firewalls, DMZ, is here. Now within DMZ, what we do is we put in a web interface, first of all, for these users. So we are going to put in web interface here. Web interface. Now users can connect, the request goes to internet from here, it touches the firewall. Main purpose of the firewall is to allow main purpose of firewall is to control actually. You're controlling the traffic. Who can enter into your country, who cannot. They have to show the password. So passport. So they have to show passport, just like immigration or customs, what they do on airports. This is the same thing what firewalls do in networks. So this one is a lighter type of firewall. This one is mostly a port level firewall. I think port level firewall. Port level firewall is that most of the time this firewall, I'm saying most of the time, not always. Maybe companies might have both firewalls very, very strong. So this firewall is mostly port level firewall. It just checks the port of the packet because all packets are IP packets, remember? All packets are IP packets. And in all of the packets you have ports, source port and destination port, remember? So what it does, as soon as a packet is sent from here, so this is a packet of TCP IP. So in this there is a port. It says I am source port is my port is 80 and I'm trying to get to another port 80 on your web interface. So firewall, what it does, firewall checks these ports here. So there are doors for each port. So it reaches at the gate number 80 because it's the port number 80. If port number 80 is open, then this firewall will let this message in. If port number 80 is not open, then it will reject the message right there. So it reaches, it opens the gate and says, okay, your port number 80. So the next question it would ask, the next question is, okay, your port number 80, who are you trying to contact? That's exactly like in real life. When somebody says that I am from police department and they're trying to enter your premises, you would first think, you would ask them, where is your ID card? So you would ask exactly the same way. First of all, port is checked. And secondly, same place, it will be checked that who are you trying to reach. So it needs to know the name of the web interface. If this request, this IP packet doesn't have the name of or IP address of this web interface, it will still be rejected. So it's not that every port 80 packet would be let in. It either needs to know this or either needs to know something that is connected to another port 80. So here it reaches here. Now from here it says, okay, yes, you're a legit request. Now let me connect you because you're trying to access Citrix. Let me connect you to ZDC. So same thing what web interface was doing here. So it will send the packet now to this port. So this port is an application level. This firewall is application level firewall. This was just checking the port and the IP. And here, this is the application level firewall. Application level firewall. Now this firewall, guys, this firewall will completely, postmortem. This firewall will completely dissect this message and check each and every bit within this. So this firewall is a very, very detailed firewall. In this, it will check the message that are coming on these IP packets. So in IP packet, what are the things in IP packet? Source port, destination port, source IP, destination IP, and the data portion. So this person will check the complete data portion. Is there a virus inside? Is there some malicious code inside, or all those things? If it is cleaned, then only that packet will be sent inside. Guys, the reason why I'm giving you these details about DMZ, because DMZ is used in all applications. Your Exchange packets goes through DMZ. Your VMware packets goes through ZMD. Your Citrix packet goes through DMZ. So you must have this level of idea. Now your next question. Your question is, do you need to know how to configure this area? No. This is not our responsibility. This is network team's responsibility. The people who are working in Cisco. So mostly, not even Cisco people, security people, even above Cisco. Above Cisco, they are responsible for setting up this environment. Then what is your responsibility? My responsibility is only this server, my web interface. This is my responsibility. That's the only responsibility inside. But in DMZ, we must understand. Why do we need to understand DMZ in this manner?
Because it's used in every scenario.
Because it is used in every scenario. Number one, because you will be sitting with people who are dealing with DMZ. So at one time or another, you will be asked to join a meeting. You're a Citrix admin, you have to place a server, you need to sit with security team. And then you will be sitting with those guys who are handling DMZ. So they will use some terminologies, DMZ, port level, application level, and ports. And so for that reason, you need to remember what this is. Okay, so DMZ is there, web interface is there, your request goes here, from here, again, it goes to the same thing. Okay, so now, let's look at our ZenApp environment. How many of you ZenApp environment is working? So everybody except Raza. Or your first server is working. Yeah. So just log into the server, the server that I want you to log into the console. Yours is working. Yeah. Yours is working. Correct.
Mine's working.
Okay. Even if you have one server working, just log into that. And Jafar, you start creating that environment. So
run the discovery every time.
not every time. Not every time. So once you no. So what happens is, that first time it will run a discovery. Next time it knows what to discover. If there is no error, it will automatically run the discovery and open it. But if there is, no.
How would you know it?
Here. So let me go there. Done. I don't need to run discovery. It has discovered my farm. So it's just the first time on one machine. But you're right, Qasim. But you're right. You will have to rerun the discovery if there is some problem with the ZenApp environment. So if the ZenApp server is not accessible, then it will run the discovery and show you the errors.
Your key sometimes will work, like you have to reread it in the license server. You have to load, or you have signed your admin password.
Sometimes, maybe sometimes.
Like after 30, 40 minutes, every time you have to.
Oh, maybe that's a limitation in evaluation or something. But for now, it's working. I mean, it's working here for hours and hours on this. So here it's so all you need to do, guys, is go to ZenApp App Center. So how do you go to App Center? You can go here, you can go to all programs, and then under this, you won't find it. Guys, if it would have been, Subhanallah. Okay. So guys, here, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Here. So Citrix, if this would have been version 6, not 6.5, then you will see all your icons under this, right? It's 6.5 where you would see it here. So sometimes if you have older version, then you would see right here within Citrix. So if in any environment you go to and they're saying, oh, we have 6.5, but actually they don't know what version they have. So you should be looking in both places, either on all under all programs or either there. Yes.
Until the farm is created, everything resides in that program. After that, the farm is created.
Okay. Yes. You're right. That's another thing. But in previous version, it resides in there. It never moves into administrative tools.
After the farm.
Even after the farm, it all resides outside, not in administrative tools. Okay. So guys, here now let's look at this. So here, first of all, I would go to App Center. Now App Center is my main ground where I'm working, and that is Management Console. Within Management Console, I have App Center, and I have the second management console that is known as Web Interface. So two management consoles are sitting here. For now, one console that I'm working on is this, which is Management Console. Guys, and one more thing that I want to show you, and we discussed that in the beginning. One thing that I showed you, we discussed that, guys, as you can see that we installed Citrix on this server. But I do see remote desktop, RDS was added automatically. So in 6.5, this will be added automatically. In previous versions, you have to add it manually. So here, we never added RDS services. Remember RDS services we discussed in the beginning? RDS is a role of Windows, whereas Citrix is a separate product. So when Citrix is installed, it automatically goes and adds that role. Just like it adds IAS, it adds RDS as well. It all relies on, yes, it depends on that. It depends on that, yes.
Once in Management Console, we have Web Interface and App Center.
Yes, Management Console, I have,
Web Interface.
there is Web Interface and App Center, yes.
Yeah, if somehow we didn't install this, we can add manually, like go to
Oh, yes, anytime. And we're going to install Web Interface today. So guys, here, let's look at this. So I have App Center. Let's open App Center. And within App Center, so for now, everyone, for now, we know two consoles from these. Number one, App Center. Number one, we know of App Center, and the second one is Role Manager, Server Role Manager. And Server Role Manager is the one that adds and removes Citrix roles. Remember, so this server Role Manager, it starts every time when you need to add a role or remove a role. I mean, you can start this from a CD, or if you want to start it from this menu, you can always start it from here. So you can start it from Role Manager and Citrix XenApp console here. So let's open Citrix XenApp, Citrix App Center, and as soon as you open Citrix App Center, guys, it takes you to this place. Now let me show you the same console from my other machine. So if I go to my other machine, which is my Citrix 2. In Citrix 2, App Center is open. I'm going to close this. Just before coming here, I was having an issue with this console on 2, not on 1. So guys, here is a quick tip regarding Citrix, regarding VMware, regarding all applications. The quick tip is that sometimes if one application is not working from one server, try from another server, because sometimes it works from another server and not from the first server, and sometimes if it is really an issue, then it won't work from anywhere. But it's our responsibility to try again, make it work.
Both server is working.
Both server is working. Excellent. Just before coming here, what was happening? Just to give you an example. On my Citrix 1, this console was opening. I was able to see both of the servers here, both Citrix servers, whereas on Citrix 2, it was not working. It was giving me discovery error. But on 1, both were working. So I don't see why. So many things, guys. Among many things, guys, 20% of IT nobody knows. 20% of IT, nobody knows. So if you see something is not working in any environment, do not panic. Try to fix it as much as possible, and sometime you have no answer for that 20%. But guys, it shouldn't be very logical. It shouldn't be something very logical that you don't have an answer for. But if you're doing everything that you know, and you tried web as well, and still not working, then it is maybe one of. So why I'm saying 20%? Because guys, as you can see, if I start this now, so if I start this now, it started working. It started. Now, if you ask me why it was not working before and why is it working now, I have no idea. At that point, I checked services. Services was running. At that point, I checked my firewalls. Firewalls were off, and I checked everything, but still not working. But now it's working. Maybe a few restarts, maybe a few things. But so the example is try again. It should work. It should work.
Happens with me that after 2-3 times restart, everything was fine.
Oh yes. It's so try again. Make sure firewalls are off. Make sure they are pinging. Make sure you're on the same. So guys, here let's roam around. Let's roam around inside Citrix. So here, let's see. This is my. So when you log into this, first thing is, guys, right here it says Citrix resources. First it says Citrix resources. Under Citrix resource, so here you have a search. So this is here you have a search. If you need to search any items within your complete Citrix environment, then you can search here. So you can say search, and you can find any item. For example, I want to find one of my Citrix servers. Let's say in this Zen App Center, we don't have 2 servers, but 200 servers, and I need to connect to one of them. So what we can do, let's search for one of the servers here. So let's say CanApps, and so CanApps, the word CanApps, anything that it sees, it would show you that word. Again, search another item. Let's see, I need to search for a word administrator, because administrator is the one who has full access to this environment. So let's see where is administrator, under which part of this tree. So here I would say admin. As soon as you say the word admin, it would automatically try to find everything that starts with word admin. Yes.
So admin like the administrator or admin console?
No, admin as administrator, the person. I'm looking for a person who has full access to this. So far, and I'm going to go into more detailed informations here. Now, first thing is search. So search is that. Second thing is view. Guys, views can be created for many different purposes. Can be created for many different purposes. For example, I need to have a special view of maybe few things. I just need to see zone. I just need to see worker groups. I just need to see servers. I don't need to see policies. I don't need to see applications and all that. So I can create my smaller view. So views are just views out of a bigger tree. So you can create your own smaller views. Maybe help desk person want to see anything special, something special there. Maybe administrator need to see everything. So view is just a view to see these. Now let's try to create a view. Let's create new my view. Let's say create new my view. Now again, guys, people who are not logged into this, I mean, these are very simple exercises I want you to do with me. So here, just open App Center. Once App Center is open, then connect to my view. This is right at the top under Citrix Center, right here. And even before search, Citrix App Center is where you can run discovery. So you can run discovery as well within it. So right here you can say run discovery, and in run discovery it runs the same wizard that it asked you for the very first time. That what type of discovery do you want to run? Okay, I want to discover. So I want to. I have this product. First of all, in discovery it says what products do you have. So I'm saying I have Zen app. I don't have single sign-on. I'll pretend I never heard this question. So how many times should I explain? I never explained. I know. So, so single sign-on is a service that we are going to go into more detail in VMware. Your question is 100% valid. In Citrix, guys, we are not using single sign-on, and you won't find single sign-on in many places. in Citrix, but in VMware it is used. We are going to install it. We are going to configure it. It was a good question. Okay. Single person sign on. Yes. No, it is. Guys, single sign on. I'll just give you a quick definition. Single sign on is a service that says if one person is logged in once, it won't ask password for that person again and again. This service will help this one. So this person will have whoever is administrating this. The same person with the same credential will be logged in every. Basically, Active Directory is a single sign-on example. So once you log into Active Directory, you do printing, you do file transfer, you connect to internet. It will never ask you password again and again. So the same thing in Citrix. If you need to, Citrix automatically works with Windows. So this feature is already there. This is for encryption. Here it is for encryption. Now here, so here I'm going to next. I was about to go to next. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Here. So next. So if I go to next, just click this. Yes, guys. In next, what we can do is this eagle, American eagle, or Amir eagle? American eagle. Okay, guys. Yes. Yes, this is my next point, guys. This is my next point. So far, what we all doing is, we just click this add computer. But guys, in this discovery, you can discover as much servers as possible. For example, guys, now here, this is important to remember. So here, we have 3 sites here. So I have a Toronto site, I have a Montreal site. So Toronto site, Montreal site, Vancouver site. Now I am the admin of just Montreal and Toronto. I'm not the admin of Vancouver. So in my app center, I don't need to see these servers. I just need to see my server that I'm. This is why you have the add button. You can keep on adding names to this, and it will go and discover and give you all those servers in your console. This is why there is a flexibility when you run a discovery. I mean, you don't have to discover your complete environment. If you're not responsible for this environment, you don't need to add those servers. So this is why in this discovery, all you need to do is just add the name. So one server is automatically added, which is itself. And then in the same, what I can do, I can write the name of my other server. So here I would say Citrix 1. And once you add the other server, now it can go and discover both of them. So in this case, I can go all Toronto servers and all Montreal servers, but I don't need to see Vancouver servers.
But sir, we should be discovered that Citrix TX2 on the same server like that.
Oh yes, we need to. We need to.
Discover them.
Not must. It is already working. Actually, this places which server do you want to manage. So I need to manage both of them, so I'm adding both of them here.
Should we work on site?
It should work everywhere. Okay. So which means here I can go with even single server or both servers. So here I'll just add both servers and next. I don't. Now in this, guys, it says, guys, here. Now look at this. Guys, it is saying that it was able to discover 2, but it was not able to discover 1. Now, guys, this is not a true statement. I think this is being very sensitive, because if I go to my 1 server, it is working on 1. It is discovered. 1 is fine, and if I go here, let me rerun the discovery on 1. So on 1, if I run the discovery on 1 and add both of them. So here, actually I'm on 1. So actually you never know when it dies. So be ready for error messages. So 1. So somehow now 1 has some issues, but even though it has issues, I can still see that in here.
In my case, at least one of your discovered Linux firms does not contain.
Sorry, if I try only 1, it will work. Sorry.
In my case, it's saying at least one of the discovered ZF forms does not contain public.
This is information.
No, no.
Yeah, just press OK. I think it's working. So go to, this is your farm, and this is your farm. So go to servers, and these are both of your servers. So guys, here, let's look at this now. Let's look at this now. Thank you. Okay, here. So guys, the very next thing after discovery, what do we need to do? The very next thing is that how many servers do I have in this environment? So first thing is this. First of all, as we were going through, search is search. Views are just views. If you need to create a separate view, if not, it is not necessary to create a view. Next one is Citrix resources. It's showing you configuration tools. We don't need at the moment. It is just to have special hot fixes or security updates. For now, there are no security updates, but our main arena where we are working is ZenApp itself. Now, right under the ZenApp, it's showing me the farm. This is my farm now. Now, basically, this farm is here. So we need to clearly know this. We need to know how to read this console. So first thing is my farm is here. Now what is inside the farm? Guys, inside the farm, the very first thing is administrator. Now administrators, this is the only person at the moment. This is the only person at the moment who has full access to your Citrix. If this person or account is deleted in Active Directory, then you don't have any access to Citrix. So at the moment, this is the only person. So under administrators, it is the only. Now in our exercise, we are going to create 3 more people under this, so that we can start using other users as well. So here, what we need to, so here.
So Active Directory users, yeah,
Sorry?
Main admin users.
So we are going to create, but I'm not creating them now. I'm just going through this. But we are going to create more users here. Now first, here guys, so first of all, your first stop is administrator. Who are the people who have access to this? Now in this, there are 3 types of administrators. There are 3 types of privileges that can be created. So right under administrator, you can create 3 types of privileges here. Number 1 is full administrator. Second one is view only admin, view only, and third one is custom. So you can assign 3 types of permissions under this. You can under this node, and your machine is not working.
Okay, I'm done. I fixed it. It was giving me trouble, but it's okay now.
It's okay now.
Both machines are working.
So here, guys, let's look at this. Let's look at it. So here, under administrator, this node, under this node, we can create 3 types of permissions. We can create people with full access to Citrix. We can create people with just a read-only access, view-only access, and we can create people with custom access to Citrix. So 3 types of full administrator, view-only, and then custom. Full administrators are those people who will have full access to Citrix. They can add servers, they can remove servers, they can completely remove ZenApp from the environment. They can add more people. So they have full access. So this is full access to Citrix. Most of the time, this is for Citrix admins. So this is Citrix admin. So and second one is view only. Most of the time they can view, they can't change anything. An example is help desk people. You want to give help desk just to view the thing. For example, if they get tickets saying, oh, your ZenApp server is down, so they can just go and see that if it is down or not down or stuff like that. So second one is view only. This is for let's say help desk. help desk. And third one is custom. Custom means now I can assign access to many people on many different levels. For example, I can create folders inside under servers. So this is the place where I see all my servers here. So if I go right here, I can create servers here. I can create a folder called Toronto, and under Toronto I can create Toronto for servers, and then Montreal, and then there. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you. But custom access is now I can do individual access to individual items in Citrix.
Like delegate.
Like delegations, whatever place you need to give access to. So this is, we can say this is individual,
Like OU, delegate some user to manage this.
individual item access. Individual item access. So this is individual item access. Now in this, so now right here, let's see, let's review our quick Active Directory concept about permissions. In Active Directory we have users, right? In Active Directory we have users and we have resources. We have users who need access to folders. This is a folder. Maybe this is a folder called reports. So folder called? Report. I can't hear everyone. Report. So it is a folder called report. Guys, it's a folder called report. And this person needs access. How do you give access to this person?
Through permissions, regular permissions.
Yes, how?
ACL. If you don't have
ACL.
We have to share it.
Go to
Properties, then permission ACL,
Yeah,
like that.
right. So maybe everybody can remember that. And I'm sure everybody remembers it. All you need to do, right click on this folder, open ACL, and add the user and type of access. Remember this?
Yes.
So we can give direct access to the folder. But guys, this is not a best practice in Active Directory environment. In Active Directory environment, and the word that I'm going to say, you will remember the best practice. The best practice is always go by a group. So first we add access. We have a same folder. So first create a group for this folder,
Allow access to that.
give access to the group, and then add people to the group. So this is the best practice to do. This is the best. I mean, what is the big difference? I mean, this person, if he needs access to this, then, and in this case, would access be different? No, it will be exactly the same. Less management, less effort. Any other reason?
Secure.
It is a secure as well. It is easier as well.
management, you don't have to add so many users and so many permissions. So one group you can add them to.
Yes. So guys, the reason is that here, let's say on this folder, I need to assign 5 permissions for this guy. So 5 permissions for these 2 guys, let's say. And then I'll do the 5 steps for this person, and then I'll have to repeat the same 5 steps for this person. In groups case, I just need to do the 5 steps once, and next time I'll just add people to this and done. So basically, less steps, and it is easier to manage.
So one question here with the groups, like, so when we talk about the groups, like the groups like the local, universal, global, like we can do it with them too.
Oh yeah. I mean, ideally it has to be done in that manner. I'm not going into detail for the reason because I have to go here, but you're right, 100% right. It has to be. So this is your. So since you mentioned, so this will be a domain local group. Then there will be according to Active Directory best practice. And then you have a GG on this, and then user is added to GG, and from GG is added to DL, and from here it is added to. If they have universal group, then universal group will be added to this, and then they will have. In all, folder will have group will have access to a folder, and you will add this. Okay, so this is just a quick review. Now, guys, in Citrix, we'll follow this best practice for assigning permission. In VMware, we need to follow the same best practice. In SCCM, we need to follow the same best practice. So, having said this, so in Citrix, what we can do, we can create a user and directly add him to Citrix. So in this case, guys, this is my Citrix. Let's say this is my complete Citrix environment. And now the only person who has full access is administrator, right? So this person has full access. Now, if I need to add this guy, Mike, to Citrix, one way is that you directly go in Citrix and add Mike. Would that be a best practice? No, this is not a best practice. How should we do? We should create a group first. We should create a group and we're going to call it Citrix admin. So this group will be created in Active Directory. We'll go in ADUC, we'll create a group called Citrix admin, and then we'll create a user called Mike Adams. So our Mike Adams. So Mike Adams was us from the days of clinic, right? The same person. So Mike Adams, and then we're going to add Mike Adams to this group. So this, now basically in Citrix, we are going to add this group here. We're not going to add Mike directly. We are going to add in Citrix, we are going to add Citrix group here and then add Mike to this, and Mike will have that full access.
Install the Citrix application. So there's automatically any group in Active Directory?
No groups. No groups.
Like Exchange, like
in Exchange there is, but in this case no. The only person he's using, the person you're logging in with, the person with which you're installing Citrix. So this is why you see CanApps admin. In some of your machines, you don't see CanApps admin. You might be seeing your local machine name /administrator. You're looking at that because you logged in. You have both of them. Yes, you have both of them because we added it right that day.
Because of the problem with the discovery.
Oh, maybe they have the same problem.
Same thing problem with all.
दरख्त पे नहीं चढ़ जाए ये क्यों किया आपने किंग कॉन्ग मुझे लिख देता है आंसर maybe this is not an issue, maybe it's not an issue, maybe it is.
With firewall and two things possible, firewall and
maple leaf. Okay,
After creating a group, can we add the user directly from here? No.
After creating a group, yes, we'll add them right from here. Oh, okay, you're right, guys. When so the question is valid. Once the group is added to Citrix, can you add a user directly to this group? No. We have to add it from Active Directory. We have to add them from Active Directory. So guys, so this is what is our scenario is. This is what our scenario. This is what we need to do. So first of all, guys, always when it comes to permissions, because you are going to do that in SCCM, you are going to do that in inshallah in VMware and in Exchange. So better start now. What we need to do is this, guys. Wherever, first of all, assigning permission. Remember this simple formula. Assigning permission always start from the resource side. So wherever you need to assign the permission, there you need to add people. So just like on a folder, you right click on a folder and add people to ACL, right? In the same manner, we are going to come here and then add people. We are going to come at this location and add people. All you need to do, right click in this place, and then you can start assigning people. But before assigning, we need to create a group. So here, for these three, we are going to create 3 groups. So one group will be Citrix admin, and second group is Citrix at desk, and third is Toronto admin. And fourth is Markham or Montreal.
Montreal से ही आते हैं.
It's good. Change is good. Okay, so here, so we have Citrix admin. We are going to create four groups. These are groups, guys. Sorry, I didn't create these groups here. So this is a group 2. And then we are going to create some users. So here I'm going to create in Active Directory users called Mike, Adams, Dave, Clive, Chris Harris.
Now retire.
Chris Harris. And 3 users, whatever you think. Oh, yes, whatever. So wherever your imagination takes you. So those, so Mike Adams, Dave Clive, and Chris Harris, Mr. Khan.
Asif Ali Tandari.
Okay, Asif Ali, and then I was about to write something, but then you would know that what is in my mind. Okay. No, I'm not gonna.
Justin Toto.
So guys, these two names, I'll leave it for your imagination. Let's see what are you thinking. But don't be so true. Okay, here. So here, guys. Now, the main idea why we are doing this, we are trying to understand security and permissions architecture with the best practice. Guys, if it only would have been only Citrix is very simple. We would have created one user and added directly here. But guys, here we are trying to have that full exposure to the real environment. And full exposure to real environment, we must create our architecture groups like this. Do you understand the point here?
Yes.
Otherwise, we would have created Mike and just add Mike here as full administrator. Mike will start working. But we need to understand how in real environment permissions are assigned. So here we're going to create these groups. And then on that other side, so here we have users. So these are all the users. And these are all the groups. And on this side, this is resources. Resources they need to access. Resources with type of access. With type of access. For example, first one is Citrix. So first of all, we need to give a full Citrix environment. So this is my Citrix environment, farm and everything. So Citrix, Citrix admin will have full access to Citrix. So they will get a full access. So this is a full access. Whereas help desk is only a view only access to this. So same environment, they would get a view only access. How do you create a view only? View only. View only access. So help desk department will have view only access. And here they will have access. So this will have access only to Toronto servers.
You only mean read this.
Toronto server, and they have access to view just read only. Yes, it is. Montreal servers.
What about Toronto? They have got full access?
Yeah, Toronto admin has full access only to Montreal servers. Toronto has full access only to Toronto servers, and Montreal has full access only to Montreal access. So you see the difference? This has full environment access. This has full environment read-only access. And this will have only Toronto servers full access. This will have only Montreal servers full access. Now let's divide these users. So here, Mike will be a Citrix admin, number one. And here you're gonna have Dave. So Mike has full access. You are going to have Dave with full access as well. Whereas Chris Harris is a Citrix help desk person, and here you have Chris is a help desk, and you have Mr. Khan as here, Asif Ali is here. Okay, and the 2-person you can create your own, and so here we're gonna do this in active. Now, before we start assigning access, we all need to go in ADUC and start creating these users and groups. So you create users first, it's fine. You create groups first, it's fine. But first you create groups and then add users to the group. Or you create users and then create group and then add all of them to their respective groups. Once you're done with this, creating groups and users and giving them access, then let me know. And then we'll move on to Citrix and add the access. So your time starts now, guys. Start creating groups, start creating users.
Create two OUs, two OUs.
आपको तो मिल गया ना
कोई बात नहीं, ऐसे कोई
यार आपको
आपके स्टूडेंट वाले कोई बात नहीं। तो इसको ना कुछ आप इसको साइड कर देंगे। अब आपका जो वो भी 2008 सारा कुछ तीन चार दफा रिस्टार्ट करेंगे ये चल जाएगा। ये इसको
सर्वर मैनेजर के अंदर होगा। सर्वर मैनेजर के अंदर होगा।
इसके बगैर सारी एनवायरनमेंट चल रहा है। ओके, you need to create your machine.
मुझे डोमेन से कनेक्ट कर दो। इसी में जाओ। सर्वर मैनेजर के अंदर होगा। सर्वर मैनेजर में क्या होगा?
You know how
मैंने एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी को क्लिक करें
in Active Directory, you need to
मेरा वो पोली में
create a group, create a user, and you also work with yes, पहले ये बना जल्दी जल्दी से बनाए जल्दी बनाए
सभी कोई भी तरीके कर लो लेकिन आप यूजर को ऐड करना है ग्रुप से
पहले ग्रुप बना के ना वो ज्यादा इजी रहेगा ना वो ज्यादा
सर्वर मैनेजर नहीं खोल हाँ नहीं वो खोल नहीं रहा सर्वर मैनेजर नहीं खोल रहा कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रही है शटडाउन हो
डबल क्लिक
टू साइड पे जाना हो तो आपको जरूरत तो करना होगा
यहाँ पर
ग्लोबल कर दो ग्लोबल दोबारा खोलना पड़ेगा
I mean, maybe you tried it. Maybe you tried it, but sometimes because it's done, reboot few times, and the next time you reboot it, it automatically rebooted it with the log. So at that point, even whenever you reboot, you need to make sure that it gives you the but I do that log off and make sure that I log in. So this is default. No. Then somehow you need to add your let's see if it's so this one, but this is first time you're logging in with this account and maybe this server was completely installed with this account. Yes. So when you log in
small letters
when you do any type of installation, so we were trying to do Citrix installation. It depends who are you logged in with. Right? So since you are logged in with the local account, so when you install Citrix, it's now the computer and not to the domain admin. So domain admin was Kenneth slash administrator, right? This person should have basically your local accounts have access to their work. The problem now, when you log in with this account, so this server is only accessible by server number 1 account. So that is why once it recognizes this guy opening Citrix, it won't open the other one. So now to fix it, what we need to do, we need to somehow. So this is one of the issues. But this there is some other issues. Now in order to avoid so for now, what we need to do, log in with local accounts. Log in with local accounts. Yes, when you log in with local, when you log in without, it shows you the machine name, but now you're logging in. Otherwise, when you scan it slash, then
line के लिए
It was not working from the start. My kind of was saying that can we install the member so now I think open that again. The same screen where it says configuring. So just click configure and remove the role. You don't have to decide what you just need to remove the role and add it.
चलिए यूजर बनाने ग्रुप बनाने
यूजर बना दिए, ग्रुप बना दिए, ऐड भी कर दिया। ठीक है, अब मेरी मशीन पे उसके बाद मैंने अभी सबको बताना।
अच्छा सर
नहीं अब मैं मेरी मशीन पे तो करें ना ताकि दूसरे भी जिसने काम किया हाँ क्या हो गया वो कुर्सी लेके आए यार क्या हो गया यार इसी के ऊपर एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी है एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी इधर
ए वाले बटन
सर सारे बना दिए
सारे बन गए
सर इसको बुला
इसमें एक्टिव डायरेक्टरी खोल के उसमें ग्रुप्स बनाए यूजर बनाए ग्रुप्स होने चाहिए यूजर्स ओयू में बन गए
तो इनको ऐड
हाँ जी
So members are added to my gallery उसको
जो भी ग्रुप बनाया उसमें ऐड करना
यूजर सेटअप बनाए ओयू का कुछ नहीं उसके बाद ग्रुप बनाने और उन यूजर्स को जिस तरह उन्होंने बताया अब आप ग्रुप पे जाए हाँ वैसे भी आते
लेकिन ठीक है बना चलो ठीक है अब इसके बाद ग्रुप बना लो फिर उसके बाद उसको इस पे राइट क्लिक करो यूजर स्पेस थैंक यू यार ये लॉगिन यार ये जरूर अनचेक कर दीजिएगा
जी जी करो
So we make two OUs, Pronto material, and we create 4 users, both of them, and then we create 3 groups in users.
सलीन है भाई यानी कि पक्का काम किया आप
इसमें आपने
Do you know to track and drop it? वो तो ग्रुप्स हैं तो बाद में ट्रैक करके
पांच ही बना ले मैंने 5 ही
ग्रुप बनाया दो उससे कोई ताल्लुक नहीं होती उनको ऐड करना ग्रुप के अंदर
जी
इस तरह से तो हमें उसको भी सिंटेक्स टेस्ट करना पड़ता है
वो बात में करेंगे वो हम
Citrix helped us complete
जी सर, आप बोल में सुनो
एक्स्ट्रा और यूजर बना दिया
यार, 5 ही ठीक है, क्या करने थे बना के बस।
ठीक है, अभी इसको ऑलरेडी एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, हमें इनको स्पेशल देना है ना, क्या करोगे
यार मैं तो फंस गया।
कॉपी जगह पे रहेगा अब आया ना, अब क्या करेंगे, चार करेंगे सभी बताएंगे, जैसे मैं बता दो उसके चाचा इसी तरह उसके बाद हम बताते हैं किसको ऐड करना है, किसको
हाँ तो नहीं नहीं साइड से बनानी साइड हाँ
तीन दो लोगों को एडमिट बनाना तुम्हें, मेंबर ऐड कर दो, दो मेंबर ऐड करो, पहला मेंबर बनाए माइक को बना देते हैं, आ गया ठीक है, एक हमने एक कांटो से माइक को बना दिया, अब हम एक खान को वहां से बना देते हैं, कहाँ से
आपने बना दिया मेरे साथ
एक साइड को बन गया, एक साइड को बन गया इसमें
मेरे साथ को मैंने सबसे पहले
ना एक साइड से कंट्रोल हो गया, दो यूजर है वहाँ दूर बैठे हैं, दोनों समझ आएगा, एक एक को लेके बना दो, एक एक कार्टून बना दो, ये पूरे सिट्रिक्स के बन गया। सिट्रिक्स अभी सिट्रिक्स एडमिन का मतलब जो पूरे नेटवर्क के अंदर, पूरे फॉरेस्ट के अंदर अब दो एंकर दो पार्टनर दो मॉड्यूल एक एक यूजर वहां पे।
अच्छा, अब आगे क्या करेंगे? पैनल को सीट सेगमेंट
आपने मिस्टर खान के कहना मिस्टर माइक बना दिया
भाई टोरंटो एडमिन टोरंटो साइट में मैनेज कर सकते हैं, और मॉन्ट्रियल एडमिन जो है ना आसिफ अली
पहले इसके पास तो आप ड्रैग भी कर सकते हैं, ड्रैग नहीं कर सकते,
चलिए मैंने ऐसे नहीं किया। चलो अभी तो
उन्होंने ये तो बताया था कि बनाओ उसके बाद फिर वो पीछे का चलेगा।
लेकिन मैंने इसमें भी बना
हो गया
लेकिन हम लोग क्या ट्रांसफॉर्म के अंदर आपने सिर्फ उसको
पहले दोनों फिक्स करना, थर्ड को सेकंड
ढाई ढाई अच्छी होगी।
जी आपने सिट्रिक्स में ऐड कर दी जी कर देता हूँ जैसे कि ये नहीं है ये तो वहीं से होंगे सर्विस में जाके वो तो वहां से होगी सभी लाइसेंस सर्वर में जाके जिसमें भी आता है वहाँ के अंदर हाँ डाल नहीं सका वोट क्योंकि नहीं मेरा एड्रेस का चक्कर था तो वो मैं गया दो पोलिंग स्टेशन में गया तो वो हाँ नहीं एड्रेस मेरे असल में मैंने क्या किया हुआ है मैंने अपना लाइसेंस में ना मेल्टन का एड्रेस लिखवाया हुआ है लाइसेंस में ना तो मेरा वो कार्ड आया मेरे भाई के एड्रेस पे मेल्टन के एड्रेस
ओके नहीं हाँ उसके लिए कस्टम में जाएंगे लेकिन उसके लिए पहले आप फोल्डर बनाएंगे। अच्छा उसके लिए ना पहले आप सर्वर्स के अंदर आए।
अच्छा उसमें मॉडल आप जैसे बताते हैं
इसके अंदर फोल्डर बनाए फिर उन फोल्डर को उनके मैंने भी बताना है सो लेट्स गो फॉर अ 10 minutes break and then right after the break we'll start। तो नमाज में आए यार नमाज पढ़ लो भाई इससे पहले के पढ़ी जाए। सिर्फ 8 क्या हो गया क्या हो गया मुझे नहीं पता मैंने तो ऑर्डर कर दिया।
सर हमारी तो 15 है ही है वो इमरान से यही कह रहे थे वो 15 समथिंग की $8 पे शिपिंग किया
चल रही है कि नहीं चल रही?
वो तो सर आ गया
चले
सर ये आपको
सही
बता दें
है ठीक है okay guys that's just a second. Okay, yes, so here question yes, I'm gonna show you so guys, all we did, we created these groups in Active Directory, and then we added these users to particular groups, and then now so this part is done, now we're gonna do this part here, this part. Now in order to assign any types of permissions in Citrix, there are two ways. How many ways? Two ways. One way is directly from the object, or second way is this place, administrator's place. So this is one way of doing it, and second way of doing it is right from the object. So for example, if I want to give access for this server, I can go to this server and add access right from here. So for example, I'll go inside this server. So guys, first of all, let's go to the servers folder, and right click on the servers folder, and then create a folder here. So on servers, create a folder called Toronto. So we are going to create a folder Toronto in this, and I'm going to create a second folder called Montreal.
So when it says copy permissions from the parent folder, does that mean
inheritance? That means inheritance.
What kind of, in this OU, what kind of permissions are in the parent?
Okay.
So
Yes.
सर आप जेनेट सर्वर में
Yes, I am in Zenith server.
नंबर नहीं आता उसका नंबर नहीं
Oh, okay, sorry. So what we need to do is one more time. So I'll get back to your question in a second. So guys, all what we are doing is, so if you're in the App Center, then what you need to do, you need to expand Zen app, and you need to expand farm, and then under farm you need to go to servers. So there is a servers, and right click on server and create a folder. There is a create folder option under server. So once you are here and you're creating a folder, so I created two folders. One is called Montreal, one is called Toronto, and I'm gonna just create a folder just to show you how do you create a folder. So let's say I'm creating another folder called Windsor. Now Windsor, guys, right under this it says copy permissions from parent folder. So guys, here, unlike all other products, unlike the products that I know, for example, in Active Directory, if you go to C drive, all permissions are inherited all in the complete tree automatically.
Like OUs.
In OUs, permissions are inherited. Folders, permissions are inherited. VMware, permissions are inherited. In Citrix, they are not inherited unless you click this icon. So whatever permissions were here coming from the farm level to down, these permissions will be inherited. Now the next question is, what type of permissions will be inherited? If I click this, for example, Mike has full access to this, so Mike's access will be inherited to this. You have Chris, and Chris has a help desk access, that permission will be inherited with this folder. If you don't click this, then it will have only its own permissions. It won't inherit anything.
So in this case, it's a separate zone, right? Separate
No,
site.
no. For now, there is not a zone. I'm just creating folders. These are called. No, don't click it. So these are called simple folders. These are just folders. So under servers, I created three folders. One is Montreal, one is Toronto, and the third one is Windsor. Now the main idea, why am I creating folders under this, guys? The main idea is this. So so basically for now, all servers are under servers. So I see my Citrix 1 server, which is CTX1, and I see both of these servers sitting here, CTX2, CTX1, CTX1 under this. And let's say if I had 20 different servers here. Let's say I have Canet's CTX3 and then 4 and then 5, and all these servers exist here, and these servers basically physically they are in different locations. But so in doing that, so physically they're in different locations. Now I can see all of them under server by default, because by default there is no grouping. But guys, in this case, you won't be able to delegate them to special people. If somebody needs full access, you need to give them on this level. So on this level, by default, administrator has full access and no one has. And what we need to do, let's say these two servers are sitting in Toronto and these three servers are sitting in Montreal and this server is sitting elsewhere. So for that reason, all I did under servers, I created two folders. I created a folder called Toronto and I created a folder called Montreal. And next step will be that I'm going to move this to Toronto and move this to Montreal just to show you how this folder will look like. It is just for permissions. Yes, it is exactly like OUs in Active Directory, just to have delegation of permissions. So guys, once these are created, let's do this. So move Citrix in Toronto and just drag Citrix 2 in Montreal. So now I have one server in Montreal, one server in Toronto. Now I want to give Mr. Khan. So basically, your permission request comes like this. So you will get a call as a Citrix person. You would get a call saying that Mr. Khan needs access to Toronto servers, and don't give him Montreal access. Guys, when you receive a call, they don't ask you, oh, you go and add to this group. They don't know what groups you need. Groups is your responsibility. So what you do, you take Mr. Khan's name and add it to Toronto admin group. And you take Asif and add him to Montreal group. So first we'll do this. But before even doing this, I was saying that just before, some people were not here in the class, that there are two ways to assign permissions. There are two ways. One way is to use this place, and second place directly from the object. So for example, if I need to assign Asif access, I can directly go onto Montreal, and then under this I can go to permissions here. I can directly go to the object and do the permissioning. I can do it from here, or I can go to this level and do it. But let me show you both of them. But before that, let me show you how this is here. How this is here. So I'm going to delete them because some people have not kind of added them here.
Toronto admins and Montreal admins, they get full custom privileges. Full custom, like when you select custom, it says, okay, do you want them to allow
custom. They will get custom, yes.
You want to allow them publishing and stuff, so you want to check everything in there. Provide them full access.
Full access for those folders, yes. Okay, guys, let's look at this. Let's look at this, guys. Here. That reminds me. Guys, Asif the Hafizah, he brought Barfi from Pakistan. Oh, he's half the He finished his training in track 2. And then he went to Pakistan and he just came back. Huh? Yeah, he did a contract. Right after his training, he completed a contract and then he went to Pakistan. Now he's looking again.
So when did track to finish their training?
Track two? Track two was finished I don't know, few months back.
They find the job after completing the whole training?
Many of them. Some of them no, not yet.
Or in the middle of the training?
Yeah.
Middle of the training they got the job or after the training?
No, after. How it was please have yourself really अच्छा मैं उधर
सर बहुत से लोग मीठा मना है बहुत से लोग सामने ना रखना सर ये होता गया
डालने क्विक हमने क्लास भी स्टार्ट की
जैसे लेके भाग गया
मेरा ख्याल है No. ये है इधर Zara साइड कितनी गलत बात है आप लेते जाए और आगे देखते हैं
सभी को मीठा कम बोले तो
वो यार गलती की है यार खोल कर आप यकीन करें कि वाओ यू वोंट गेट दिस टेस्ट ये काम भी होता है पता लगा एक हफ्ते तक जेब में पड़ी
बेसिकली अपने आप को प्रोजेक्ट आउट कर रहा है दूसरों पे रेशनलाइज कर रहा है
इन्होंने लाजमी डाली होगी कभी मेरी तरह सबने डाली होती है क्या
सर हमने बच्चों में सुना था जो बोलता है वो खुद होता है
जो कहता है वो
बोलता है
सर जो लोग बड़ी जैकेट पहन के आए ना उनकी जैकेट
सर मेरी जैकेट में 8 जगह 8 पीस गायब
आज आप जैकेट नहीं लग जाते हैं
जैकेट तो ऑलरेडी काफी चीजें हो गई
सर इसकी टोपी भी चेक करते हैं से पहले
इसको मैं डाल के देता हूँ
मैनेज करने आती है
आधा घंटे लेने का
बर्फी एडमिन बना रहे हैं
Burfi app. Okay. So guys here. So first of all, we do understand that there are groups, there are users, and now we're going to add them first. So first I'm going to add these two. First I'm going to add these groups from Active Directory to Citrix environment, which means they exist in Active Directory. I'm going to add them here first. So when you add them, and also remember while I'm adding them, remember that this will be full access, this group will be full access, this group will be view only access, and these groups will be custom access, and in custom will be having access only in their own folders. So, and it's really easy to do here, guys. It's really easy. So what we can do is in administrator, all you need to do, you need to right click on administrator right here. Actually here add administrator, or on action side you can say add administrator. Now once you start with this, guys, now in this all you need to do here, you can select Citrix user selector, or you can say operating system user selector. Now operating system user selector is used when you need to add local users. When you need to add local users, not domain users. But in this case, we need to add domain users, so we can say Citrix user selector and then click add. Once you click add, it is asking you, okay, you're trying to add some users, but which user do you want to add? So first of all, it is showing you your domain, canf.local. Just double click on your domain. If your domain is canf.pri, just select your domain, canf.local. Just double click on your domain. It will ask you for domain credentials. So in this case, all you need to say is canf slash. What? I mean, you can write just administrator, but let's try with canf slash administrator. I mean, we all should be in habit, guys. We all should be in habit in corporate environment. दूसरी नहीं मिलेगी, sorry. Huh? Okay, here guys, here. Yes, I'm gonna do it again. So first of all, I'm gonna go here. So cancel this here, and guys, all you need to do, click add. Are you here? Yes. So in this, and then go to domain, and then add credentials. Guys, the thing that here I'm mentioning, you can write administrator, guys, but be in a habit to use domain name always with a username, always, because otherwise this is what's happening in most of your environments. You installed Citrix using local user and it's not working with domain user. So for now here, guys, I'm gonna say canf slash administrator, and then you use password. Once you say password, guys, it would only show you groups here. So if I go into, these are all of the OUs. So go into users OU or wherever you created your groups. If you go inside, I can see my Citrix admin group, my Citrix help desk group, and then there is one more. Montreal admin and Citrix admin. Guys, if you ever need to use user directly, then you need to say show users. Then you need to say show users. Otherwise, this is not showing you users. If you don't click show users, then it won't say show. It won't user. So in this case, the very first type of access that I'm adding is Citrix admin. So you double click on Citrix admin. It's added, and as soon as you click OK, you would see Citrix admin in the screen.
Sir, if we just enter administrator and password, then
I'm going to do the next one. Are you stuck somewhere? Okay.
if you just
What?
administrator and password, then what happens?
It's fine. It will work. But this is what I'm saying. Be in a habit of always use canf slash administrator or whatever your domain is. Now in here, all you need to do, click next, and this is
Citrix user selector.
Citrix user selector. Operating system is local user. Yes, Barfi. Okay, here, guys. Here, let's see. Here I have three types of access: view only, full admin, and custom. So this is where Citrix gives you three levels of access. So for now, because since Citrix admins are full administrator, I would say full administrator, and then next, finish. Guys, in likewise, I'm gonna add now help desk, Citrix help desk. So again, you would say add administrator, and then add, then select domain, and then here it asks you for the username. So I'm gonna say canf slash administrator.
It's not a good practice to check mark on the number password, is it, in a production environment?
If it is only your machine, not on server. In your machine, because you have the password, it's okay to say that. Now, second one is Citrix help desk, and click add, and OK, and next. And this add is view only. So this is view only, and next. And now here I'm gonna add both groups, Toronto and Montreal. So again, one more time, add administrator, and then next, domain. Here again, I'll try and copy this for next time. Let's see. Normally it doesn't let you copy. So here I'm gonna say I need Toronto admin. Guys, now it's a little different about Toronto admin. All you need to do is, in this case, it won't be view, it won't be full, So in this case, it will be custom. So in custom, all you need to do is, when you go custom, are you there? Everybody's there? So in custom, you go next, and in this case, I'm gonna go under server and select Toronto. So you select Toronto. On this side, you must select what services do you need. Just selecting Toronto won't give you access. So here you can say everything about these servers.
Since this is a full admin for.
This is full admin just for Toronto. This is, but only for Toronto. But only for Toronto, right?
Just like
Yes. So full access, guys, full access for Toronto. But maybe in your department there are some people who are sitting in Toronto and you just want to give them some specific access. So in that case, you can create another group in Toronto, and you can say that those people can only assign applications to servers, or maybe they can just move or remove servers, or maybe they can just disconnect user sessions, so they can do things like that. So you can do this. But for now, for Toronto group, I'm going to give full access only for Toronto. So here I selected Toronto. Now if I select Montreal, they don't have any access under Montreal. They don't even have access under Quick Farm. So here the only access they have is under Toronto. And once this is done, now I'm going to add the last group, which is Montreal. So add administrator, and then double click.
So Toronto give full access publish application servers.
Yes. And the last group will take the access for Montreal. Montreal admin, custom access, Montreal. So this one, full access for everything.
We can also select the task over there and select all.
Oh yes, you can select task. You can do that as well. Yes. So here, guys, once this is done, what I'm gonna do is let's verify these accesses. How do you verify this? Where are you on the screen? Show me, please. Okay. So just click add. Which group are you doing?
Just Toronto.
Okay. So do it. Add.
Toronto की कर ली
Toronto कर लिया ना?
क्या
It's fine. It's fine.
Custom key thing.
No. After that, you click the check boxes.
Yes, custom.
Okay, that's fine. Let's verify.
कैसे करेंगे? Does it mean have to also check the green boxes also on the other side, or just the
We must select the green boxes.
All the
we
green
must.
boxes.
Yes, we must. Okay, guys. Here now verify our access. How do we verify our access? So all I need to do is go to Montreal, right click on Montreal, and then go to other task and go to permissions. So now I need to see who has access on this folder. So I can go to permissions here, and here if I click on administrator, administrator has full access. If I click on Citrix admin, he has full access. Help desk does not have access. Help desk has automatically just view access. And you cannot even see Montreal group in this list.
Yeah.
So which means Montreal has no access. And Montreal admins has full access. So see, you can go onto each object and see who has what type of access on them.
How do we see the Montreal access? Go back to that server that we have.
No, here you are on Montreal actually. So I am on Montreal. If I go to Toronto, and then I can go, so right click on Toronto, and then go to other task and go to permissions, and here let's see what is the access for Toronto and which is this. Now guys, now what I want you to do, this is, we just saw the type of access, and now I want you to log in with Mike and see his access, and then log in with Chris and see his access. So this is what I want you to do, guys. On server 1, log in with Mike, and on server 2 log in with Chris. So on server 1 log in with Mike, server 2 log in with Chris. So on server 2 I'm going to log in with Chris. So log off. What is the username you said? The logon name?
For which name, sir?
Chris.
C. Harris.
C. Harris. C. Harris.
C. Harris.
C. Harris.
So Montreal और Toronto का मैं full access दिया था ना?
Montreal, yes, just to Montreal group, to Montreal folder. So I just logged in with Chris on server 2 and then open App Center.
So Montreal,
नहीं Montreal
Did you use the same password?
Yes, sir. P password.
P capital?
Yes.
Password 1 and then C Harris, HAO
RRI, yes.
RR.
Yes, I think I put RRI.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. So Chris should have view only access. Chris is a help desk user. Let's open Citrix.
So when I log in with Harris, ask me again password.
Yes, just like this.
Yes.
So it is because, guys, Chris is not an admin on this server. So it is just saying you're trying to run some application, re-enter your password, re-enter your username. Huh? Later. That is for Citrix receiver. We're going to add it later. So here we're going to say,
What you just said, sir, isn't it, sir? The first time we log on to the server, sir.
it shouldn't ask you again and again.
The first time we log on to the computer.
No. I'll tell you what's the reason. Okay, so guys, it won't let you run anything with Chris. It won't. The reason is this is a server. On server, there are special policies. Normal people cannot log in. I mean, in here, if you use administrator username, it will work. But then the console will be working with administrator, not with Chris. So now on this, you cannot check access to Chris. This is why I said we're going to use Windows 7. In Windows 7, we'll log in with Chris. And then, but before that, we need to install management tools on Windows 7. So guys, on Windows 7, on Windows 7, first of all, guys, we need to log in.
If we add Chris and other user in admin group in Active Directory, so which we can access.
But then Chris will have full access to Citrix as well.
No, he will not access to Citrix.
But look, it's not opening.
No.
No, you're right. Because we never added domain admin group there. Yes, domain admin group is not there.
So domain admin group will not add Citrix as full administrator.
Yes, you're right. Your question? So try it. Add him to domain admin.
When I open it, it brings out.
What is this? It's server manager? Oh yes, this is server manager, not Citrix app manager. So open Citrix app manager. App center, sorry. And you won't be able to run that. So guys, on Windows 7, let's install Citrix management tools. Yes. So on Windows 7, install Citrix management tool. All you need to do in Windows 7, just add the Citrix CD and install management tools. Citrix. Do not install complete Citrix, just the management tool. It won't work. The reason is Chris is a normal user and this is a server. So normal user cannot log in, cannot. Yes, Windows 7 on a client machine. So in few seconds, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna run Citrix on this client machine. So I just so this is my Windows 7, and Windows 7 I use the Citrix CD, and I'm gonna auto run this.
Right?
6.5. So on Windows 7, we'll be just adding administrative tools. Now, guys, one thing to remember that when you're in real environment, basically your machine is Windows 7, Windows 8. So it's not always that every time you log in with on Citrix servers, you will have management tool on your machine. From here, you'll be managing your Citrix environment.
Remote desktop.
No, not even remote desktop. I'm now installing management tool. So guys, this is how we install management tools. So on Windows machine, all I need to do, I'm not installing XenApp server on this. All you need to do, say manually install components, and you would say, I think it is in, no, yes, first one, management console. So all I'm doing is installing management console on this. I'm not installing web interface, not a server, not licensing, just management console on a client, Windows 7.
It's not coming.
Now, so just do this. Just do this. Farhad, do you see the mouse?
Yeah.
So just look at this CD right here under this. Is it blinking?
Yeah.
If it is blinking, then just right click and disconnect and connect one time. Yes. So this will reinitiate. It will run the auto run.
It's login. How is login?
Huh? It is logged in. So now open App Center.
Do it again.
Huh?
So do it again.
No. So do you have Windows 7?
Yep.
Is it 6.5 CD? So just wait for a few moments. Just do it again and wait for a few moments. What? Yeah, it's the same SSD that you have. Hold on. It's the same machine. Same machine. W and quad core. It is quad core.
कंप्यूटर हो सकता है brand
No, it's same thing. Same thing. मैंने अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सूरह फातिहा पढ़ी थी इसमें. Yes, so just next, it will install everything. हाँ? इसकी जो है ना सी ड्राइव चेक करें, मैं डीफ्रैग करता रहता हूँ उसको, कभी कभी ना गैर जरूरी चीजें रिमूव करता रहता हूँ साथ साथ. और आपका सारा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम सी पे पड़ा हुआ है, सी पे ही है. सी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत से ज्यादा फुल तो नहीं है. कितनी कौन सी है ड्राइव और टोटल एसएसडी कितनी है? तो सी इतना कम क्यों रखा है आपने? तो सी फुल C is 200 GB, but how much is used?
40%.
40% used. Okay, so it should. And RAM?
32.
Ooh, this is only 24.
maybe 32 or past
No. These are good machines. No, don't think. It's working now. So it's the view only admin. Oh, okay, so he can see only Toronto.
Please already guys have local domain.
हाँ जी. Help desk, yes, he is help desk.
admin, only the Toronto admin.
हाँ ठीक है, उसे can only see Toronto. क्यों दोबारा क्यों ऐड करें?
नहीं तो it's not working.
क्या मतलब?
Only Toronto admin.
तो बाकी चीजें ग्रेड आउट होंगी ना मेरे भाई. आपके सारे से लॉगिन है? Are you sure? Chris Harris. Okay. So now let's see. Yes. ये Chris Harris जो है इसको मूव कर देंगे. ये कर सकते हैं, कोई नहीं कर सकता. कोई एक्सेस नहीं है उसके पास. ये व्यू है. इसमें ना कोई डिलीट करेगा, ना परमिशन ऐड करेगा, कुछ भी नहीं कर सकता. नहीं देख सकता है. व्यू तो है ना.
But we make Toronto admin.
But no, Chris has helped us.
No, I make it like Toronto admin.
Chris को Toronto admin बनाया.
Yes.
और उस help desk भी है.
नहीं.
Chris Toronto admin है. यार मुझे कंफ्यूज कर दिया यार.
Toronto admin है Chris.
Chris क्या है?
सिर्फ Toronto admin. Helpless नहीं आना है.
Chris Toronto admin है.
जी.
एक सेकंड. पक्की बात सही बता दे मुझे. मैं बता रहा हूँ. चेक कर लो. ठीक है. तो Toronto admin है. सही है. तो टोरंटो की एक्सेस चेक करें. यार प्लीज क्विक जल्दी परमिशन.
इसको इंस्टॉल करने के बाद रिस्टार्ट कर
नो नीड. बट देन यू हैव टू लॉग ऑफ एंड लॉग इन विद क्रिस.
इस पे तो करने नहीं दे रहा कुछ एडवर्ट.
ठीक है. पहली चीज तो इस पे तो कुछ नहीं करने देगा. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे हम इसको देखते हैं कि क्या इसको कुछ कर सकता है वो. लेट्स सी. गो टू रिमूव फ्रॉम फॉर्म. नो आई डोंट नीड टू रिमूव फ्रॉम फॉर्म. कुछ ऐसी चीज करते हैं जिससे कुछ पता लगे. कनेक्ट टू सर्वर पब्लिश डेस्कटॉप. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. नहीं एक से नहीं. वो तो खैर वो पब्लिश्ड ही नहीं है ना. ये इस पे यूजर्स कितने सेशंस. लेट्स सी. खराब कर देगा इस पे. इस पे नहीं कर सकते. आपका खराब हो जाएगा एनवायरनमेंट. क्योंकि मैं कुछ टर्मिनेट कर रहा हूँ. नहीं तो वो कोई चीज हो ना करने वाली फिर ना. कॉपी कर सर. ये आप रख लें. ये तो यहाँ पे सारी खा जाएंगे यार.
ये किरा पे नाम मेरा है.
ये वाली इसको खोलो.
एक काम करते हैं यार.
ये खुली है. हाँ ये वाली है. ये वाली भी देने की. वो तो वैसे ही है.
अच्छा पब्लिक एप्लीकेशन का ये चल रहा है. यार आपने इंफॉर्मेशन खराब की होगी यार.
नहीं देखें सुन.
ये पीछे
तो अब परमिशन जरा चेक कर लें.
यहाँ से सिर्फ रिमूव हो गया. यहाँ से सिर्फ रिमूव हो
इस पे सिर्फ मॉन्ट्रियल एडमिन के पास फुल एक्सेस है. टोरंटो एडमिन के पास कोई एक्सेस नहीं है. अब टोरंटो एडमिन के पास क्या क्या नहीं है. ठीक है ना. मैं वही कह रहा हूँ. टोरंटो एडमिन असाइन एप्लीकेशन भी नहीं कर सकता. व्यू सर्वर इंफॉर्मेशन भी नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि है ही नहीं उस पर. तो इसका मतलब है टोरंटो एडमिन को इस पे कुछ भी नहीं करना चाहिए.
तो ये मॉन्ट्रियल में दिख रहा है. ये मेरा ये
यार मैं जानता हूँ लेकिन आपने उसको. ये टोरंटो एडमिन है ना तो इसकी फुल एक्सेस है. इसकी तो कोई एक्सेस नहीं है. तो इसकी नहीं होनी चाहिए एक्सेस. यार मैंने आपकी कहा है ना वो हो रहा है. वो काम हो रहा है. ये एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के तौर पे आ रहा है. आपने उसको डोमेन एडमिन में ऐड किया ना. इस वजह से वो फुल एक्सेस कर दिया. ओके गाइस आई एम गोना चेक क्रिस नाउ. Everyone, I'm gonna check Chris. Yes, on client machine, this is how we log in. Guys, this is how we. So switch user. So other user, and just say canups/CJ Harris. So log in. So you switch user, others, and just say canups/C Harris.
/C Harris.
Yes.
I just did C Harris.
And it's a backslash, not /.
Yes. No. Always domain. Always domain. Remember domain. So once it logs in, Then I'll start App Center and let's see what Chris Harris has. So Chris Harris should not be able to make any changes in the environment.
So we have to run the discovery before Chris Harris logs in or after?
I mean, discovery, I think you have to run first time. So first time, everybody has to run the discovery to see which servers are there. Is it?
How many key servers like client?
Oh, the client machine. So here, now let's see if I have all programs here. So guys, whenever you get this message, everyone will be getting this message whenever you start a machine. It's actually, this is a Citrix receiver message. So if you ever get this message, for now, just say URL later. Later on, once we configure the Citrix client, Citrix receiver, then we'll configure this. But for now, whenever you get it, just say configure URL. I will configure it later. So for now, I'm going to open Citrix and I'm going to open App Center. Now, as soon as you open App Center on this, I'm going to do it one more time. So this is C. Harris.
Here, you don't need to log in an administrator.
Okay, hold on. I think we need to do one more thing here, which is add him to the local admin of Windows 7. So add Chris as a local admin to Windows 7 so that Chris can run some application on this machine. So so there is one additional thing that we just need to do. So log off from Windows 7.
We can do it on each machine. These guys will have on each machine. These guys will have to be.
No. So in real environment, what happens is the machine that Chris owns, he already has full access, right? Because Chris, I own this machine, I have full access. For now, it's just saying, okay, Chris logged into this machine for the first time, and it's not allowing Chris to run anything on this. So what we'll do is we'll just log into this machine as local administrator, and then add Chris to the local administrator group of this machine. That won't affect anything else. So all we need to do is open Windows 7, log into Windows 7 with local admin. So local admin is administrator.
So can we answer when we see Windows 8, there can be a locally case as well?
Yes, you can.
So we cannot make these changes by logging into computer administration.
So log in with Scanapps administrator.
We have to. Is that necessary? You have to sign out and sign back in?
Yes, or you can switch user as well. If there is a switch user option. So all I'm doing is log into Windows 7. If you're not following me, write it down somewhere. We need to on Windows 7 log in with log into Windows 7 with Scanapps administrator, and then open computer management in Windows 7. So how do you open computer management in Windows 7? Now what I need to do is I just need to add Chris to the local admin of this machine. So in doing this, all I need to do, right click on your computer once you're in, right click on your computer and say manage. Right click on the computer and say manage. Right click on the computer and say manage. Once you do manage, it will show you local users and group inside this machine. So in manage, just click local users and group. In manage, just say local users and group and go to groups and just double click on administrator. Actually, this is being recorded as well. So if you're not following me, so all I need to do, add Chris C. Harris and add. So all I did, I added C. Harris to the local administrator of Windows 7. Guys, this access has nothing to do with Citrix access. This is just saying that Chris should be able to run something on this. So what something? Chris needs to run App Center on this.
Only on this machine.
Only on this machine.
If I log in with the domain,
What you have in your user? Click on the users.
Users are just users, so local users of this
You
machine.
don't need to create.
No, we don't need to create here. We just add Chris from Active Directory to the local admin group.
If I'm unable to log in because I forgot that thing, जिस नाम से मैंने अकाउंट बनाया तो मैं भूल गया तो मैं /administrator
Yes. Yes, बिल्कुल. Yes.
If you try to log in with that administrator, you can log in. When you say the password.
No, yes, but then we won't be able to check the Chris access to Citrix. We need to actually check the access of Chris to Citrix as administrator.
The other way, like when you log in, like when Chris Harris is like you're logging in as administrator anyways. What's the difference?
The difference is when Chris was first logging in, it was logging in as a guest, and as a guest, you cannot run applications on that machine.
My application got open.
Oh, your app center was opening?
Yeah.
Okay. So in my case, I had security. But is this joined to Active Directory? Everything is fine? Okay. In my case, it was not letting me join, so this is one way. In your case, if it was letting you run App Center and you're logging into Chris, then it's fine. You don't need to do these steps.
It doesn't let us to just join with the because it's already joined with the.
So that's fine. If in your case you're able to open App Center, it's fine. I mean, it would have allowed me as well, but it's good to know that you need to add them. Now,
We have to log in as Chris Harris now?
yes. Now log in with Chris Harris and run App Center.
So you logged in as a Canap's administrator.
So guys here, so now it's running App Center. So some people are saying that they are able to run App Center without adding him as an administrator. It's absolutely fine. If you're able to do that, it's okay. But if not, if you're on the screen, it's all good. Farhad, are you on the screen?
Now it's not coming. The App Center is there, but like I can't open the App Center.
What's happening? You click and nothing is happening? It's fine. Just say disable first one. Yes.
It's asking the password. So can
Show me the password. What screen is it on? No, just move this. Oh, so it means Chris does not have access to your machine. So log in with administrator and add Chris to local administrator.
That's what I already did actually.
Oh, you already did?
Yes.
And you logged in with Chris now?
Yes. Canap/Chris.
It should work like that. Let's see if the process is running. Okay, process either it's not running, or either it is stuck somewhere, or either it will come in few minutes. So all what we do is we'll just read. It's saying that there was another. Did you switch user or just logged off?
No, you asked me to do it like the other way, like the Canap's administrator, so I didn't download.
See, it was running. So it was running in another login somehow.
It was running before I told you.
Okay, so we'll just restart. Once it is restarted, then you log in again.
Then go by Canap's.
Canap slash no. Canap slash Chris Harris.
Okay.
So restart it once. Guys, I'm gonna check my access now. I'm gonna check my access. All I need to do first time, whenever you log in with Chris, you need to run discovery. First time, whenever you log in with any user anywhere, you need to run discovery. And all I need to do is run the discovery once. And here you need to know the name of the Citrix server. So I will go here, say Canap CTX1. And Canap CTX2.
Chris Harris से मैं लॉगिन कर रहा हूँ वो लॉगिन तो हो गया था so over here I'm trying to open management console.
Yes.
When I'm writing canap/C Harris password वही डाल रहा हूँ मतलब वो कहता है कि the requested operation requires elevation
Show me. Okay, so in your case, you both added to administrator, still it is asking you. So just select the first option. Yes, so in your case, and in your case.
I just restarted the machine, maybe not.
And are you 100% sure it's added as administrator?
I will check again.
Okay. If it is added as administrator, just restart again and then try again. So it's okay now. In your discovery is running.
Yeah, we don't need to uncheck, right? Just
You don't need to uncheck anything and add both servers. And what is your question, Atif?
go add to client as well.
Not running. Yeah, both. You added both of them or one? पे ऐड हो गया, ठीक है। अब एक चीज हमेशा याद रखें इमरान भाई, आपने बिल्कुल ठीक मशवरा दिया। नहीं ये ठीक है, everybody is doing this mistake. Guys, in discovery, I see this same mistake everybody is making. Guys, in discovery, you will only discover Zenap server. You're not discovering client. So you will never discover on client. You don't have Zenap services. So that is why it's just giving you error on a client. So it's giving you error on a client. It's fine. But it added the other two. It's done. Finished.
सिर्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर के अंदर जा रहा है और वो
उससे तो इसका मतलब है कि उसको परमिशन का उसको परमिशन का इशू है। अदरवाइज आपका पूरा फॉर्म यहाँ से मैनेज हो रहा है, आप अपने दोनों सर्वर सारा कुछ देख सकते हैं, ठीक है। लेकिन वो जो उसको नहीं दे रहा तो वो आपको पता लग गया कि it does not have DNS services. It does not have DNS services. So guys, let me quickly review this information before you start packing. Yes.
I don't need to run the discovery like this.
It or no. Once you run a discovery on one machine, it will try to run unless it's not able to connect. So guys, in today's lesson, the essence of today's lesson was to understand permissions and security in Citrix, and it is very very important to understand permissions and security in Citrix. Because what we do most of the time, we always log in with the administrator and we don't understand how permissions are used. Guys, in order to use permission, there are two ways to use it. One way is that you directly go in and you add permissions. Now, in this, you can directly go in and add permissions, guys, but in real environment, अब कोई पैक नहीं करेगा यार, कोई पैक नहीं करेगा, 45 से पहले। So here, no, आप तो बैठेंगे 11 बजे तक, आप लेट आते हैं हमेशा। Okay, here guys, 45 तक। Okay, here guys, let's look at this. So here guys, I mean, this was very important to show you that in real environment you would see permissions like these, but in book or in test environment you have just one person in this place, and that is Scanap's administrator, the person you install the environment with. So in every interview where you go to with Citrix, they would ask you, how do you assign permissions? So the best way to assign permission is create groups in Active Directory, add users to the group. So this is create groups in Active Directory, add users to the group, and then give permissions of the resource to the group. And this is what we did right here. We created groups, and then we created users, and we assigned permissions, and then we try to play with those permissions. Guys, it's very likely even in real environment your permission does not work perfectly. With permissions, you always have to play. You will play with the permission, get the right permission, and then always you go there, hit and trial it. But at this point, I want you to understand the permissions and securities in this environment. In this environment. So first thing is this, guys. The second thing here is this, that this data collector. This data collector is also known as ZDC. This is also known as ZDC. It has all your dynamic information, right? Guys, in 6.1, first 6.5, starting in 6.5, not in 6, not in Citrix 5, not in Citrix 6, only in 6.5 and above. Now here, data collector when the first time you install your first ZenApp server, during the install, it will ask you few questions. If you have done that install few times, you would know it would ask. First of all, it would ask you at one point that do you want to install ZenApp server, and do you need to run XML service on this? Do you need to run so few questions it would ask you whenever the first time you configure a ZenApp server. Now, when you configure it, guys, always remember 6.5 Citrix gave us two types of sub roles under Citrix ZenApp server, two sub roles, and one role is known as session collector. One is known as session collector, and second is known as session host. Now, this was not available in previous version. The only reason is that if I have 10 ZenApp servers, guys, among 10 ZenApp servers, one will become ZDC. Now, let's see, if I have 10 ZenApp servers in one environment, let's say this is my Toronto site, and guys, since it is my Toronto site, and this one is my Montreal site, and this one is my it's Vancouver side. So guys, this one is Toronto, this one is Montreal, this one is Vancouver, and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, thank you. And only Toby bhai. Yes, क्यों नहीं repeat करते यार? आप क्या हो गए यार? मुझे पता है. I know everybody is this thing. I need your full attention here. So here, guys, here. So Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. In Citrix, we are going to create separate zones for each of them. So in Montreal, because if you don't create zones in Citrix, Citrix won't know their physical website, physical sites. If you don't create zones, then Citrix will see this in this manner. Citrix will see them in this. All the servers will exist under servers. So it will think that all the servers are in one physical location. And then whenever somebody tries to open any application, it would just randomly give that server to them. And maybe the user is sitting here and connecting to Citrix server in Toronto, or maybe user is so. For that reason, you must create zones. Now, once you have zones, guys, in all of the zones, there is one DC. There is who? There is one ZDC. So there is one ZDC. Now, this ZDC, guys, the ZDC is a server that has this role installed on it. A server that do not have session controller role, this is not considered as ZDC. Now, this is all up to us. When the first time we configure Citrix, it would ask me, okay, so the first server in your environment, very first server in your environment, it will automatically become session controller and it will automatically become session host. But in all of the rest of the server, we have the choice. We can say, oh, this one is just a session host, and this one is just a session host. So which means, guys, these are session hosts, but now you've taken their privilege to become a ZDC. A ZDC is a ZenApp server that has the session controller collector role. Yes.
Okay, so when we're talking about zones and sites, so when you said the election thing happened with the highest resources.
Yes.
So how it happened at that time?
It automatically happened.
You said you do it manually here.
No. Okay. Yes. So let me complete it. I'll just hold your question for a second. Now let's say first thing. So first thing to remember is a ZenApp server that has the session collector role can take part in election, right? So first thing is it. Secondly, why did they give us this type of choices? In previous version, there were no choices. Previous version were this. So you have all these servers. These are all ZenApp servers. So ZenApp server, ZenApp server, ZenApp server, and this is ZenApp server. And in ZenApp server, what happens is, guys, at any point in time so first of all, one becomes a ZDC. First of all, one is ZDC. And at any point in time, this the IMS service restarts on this ZDC, or this server is restarted. At any point in time, they will start re-election. They will start the election process. and in few seconds they would select another ZDC, another, and maybe not this, and this becomes a ZDC. And then if this server is restarted or a service is restarted, this becomes a Z. So guys, election was keep on happening again and again and again. So this is why in 6.5 they said only servers that can take part in election are the ones where you can have SE subrole. Now they try to minimize the number of electives who can take part in elections. Now there is the other reason is that this is, since you did not add session collector role on this, you just want to use it for some application. Maybe you want to use it to host application. I mean, all of them can host application, but if you do not add session host to that ZenApp server, that ZenApp server will not host any application. So basically, this role is specially for servers that can have applications. And this role is specially for servers that you want to take part in elections. That's the only difference. But then, I'll come back to your question. Let me just quickly complete it. Now, going back to your question, that here now we are trying to kind of dictate that this server will be a ZDC. No, we are not, because in this site we are saying that these three can be session collector, and then one of them will become a ZDC. And same thing. The best practice is at least 2 servers in each zone should have session collector. Now, being a session collector, if they are a session collector, it doesn't mean that they cannot host application. They can host application too. So guys, there are 2 things. Now, I want to show you where this is. Question.
That means when we install the first ZenApp, it becomes a session collector and session hole as well.
Yes.
And then we install the ZenApp app 2, server 2.
Then we can say
they are
that this is
existing form,
exactly
zone.
Yes.
There another option.
And another option, it would ask you that.
So okay, we didn't.
So I'll show you where it is. But for now, just write one-liner for both of them. So guys, session collector and session hosts. So right, I'm gonna dictate. So first of all, heading is data collector. Heading is data collector. Under क्या हुआ? Okay, here guys, here. So picture the knob क्या करना है? Okay. Data collector. Data collector. In order for ZenApp server to become a data collector or take part in data collector election, so I'm dictating. In order for ZenApp server to become a data collector, in order for ZenApp server to become a data collector, so heading is data collector. In order for ZenApp server to become a data collector or take part in data collector election, that server must have a sub-role. That server must have a ZenApp sub-role called session collector. Session collector. Next point. There are 2 sub-roles under ZenApp server. There are 2 sub-roles under ZenApp server. There are 2 sub-roles under ZenApp server. One is session collector. Second one is session collector. Second one, session host. So session collector heading. Session collector, heading. It is a role by which XenApp server, it is a role by which XenApp server can take part in election. It is a role by which XenApp server can take part in election. Second one, session host. It is a role. It is a role by which XenApp server can host applications. By which XenApp server can host applications. So guys, here
By default, we install both.
by default on the first one both are installed. Now, how many of you have ever installed XenApp server and configured it? Everyone, right? Now, if you did, then you must be familiar with this screen. This screen, you all know. This is a screen when you configure XenApp server, right? So here you would configure. You click configure. Do you remember it? Do you remember it? Everybody remembers it? So guys, when you click here, the next screen is this. So next screen is this screen. Now on this screen, if you look closely, on this screen here it's saying, okay, data collection. Do you want to make session enable controller for collection? Guys, it's called controller. Sorry about that. So collector, wherever collector is, it's controller. Data
Controller.
session controller.
Data controller.
No, session controller. Data collection, under data collection, it is controller, session controller. So session controller here, or you just want to make it session host.
It only works as a host application.
So if you select this option, it will only host application, it will not take part in election. But if you select the first one, it will be a controller and it will be hosting
So if
application.
the first ZDC down, it will become a ZDC.
Then it will become a ZDC. Then it can take part in election.
So even when you're installing the first XenApp server, still they're gonna
No. In first XenApp server, these both are disabled. So in first XenApp server, this must be a controller and a session host as well.
I think when you're adding the second server,
Then it will ask you. So this first one, both will be selected. First one will be selected. But in second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and all of them, now you have the option not to select not to make it a controller, but as just a session host. Guys, we must remember that this is a new feature in 6.5. Okay. So you must add this. You must add the session host. So this is, if you select this, then it can only host application, cannot take part in election. And if it is this, then it will take part in election. It will be Umar Gabra. Umar El Gabra. Is one Libra. So I mean, it's a part. So this is who can take part. Now, just remember this example. In one site, if you have 8 Citrix servers, you don't want all of them to take part in election. 8 is too much. But what I would do, I would just select maybe minimum 2 or 3 to be take parting in election, so that if one goes down, automatically second one becomes a data collector. So guys, so this is for today. Today we went through permissions and security. This is a very important topic to go through. So just maybe on your own, try to redo this on your home. Not try to. So do this in your home lab. So in your home lab, you need to do it. Okay. So do it in your home lab, and then in this case, so the same thing, you need to do it in your home lab. And are we done? यार आज इतनी सारी ब्रेकें की है यार, नहीं की, हर 5 मिनट में ब्रेक हुई है. So 15 minutes more?
Yes.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
मैं काफी देर से बुला रहा था.
Okay, we're done, guys. We're done.
अभी मैंने चैनल स्टेटस लॉगिन किया.
हाँ हाँ, इसमें कितनी मशीनें ऐड की थी आपने? हैं? यार आप मेरी बात नहीं सुनते हैं. मैंने कितनी दफा एक बात की है, मैं आपसे बात करता हूँ, आप कहीं गुम हो जाते हैं. कहीं गुम हो गए थे आप? अच्छा मुझे बताएं, मैं किसी से बोल रहा ये जवाब है, कोई भी इस क्लास में आप किसी पे भी हाथ रखें, कोई भी जवाब नहीं. ज़हीन की बात नहीं है, ज़हीन की बात नहीं है. आप मैंने ना वहाँ पे खड़े होके एक बात बताएं मुझे, क्या कहा था मैंने? इस मशीन को देख के बताएं.
बाकी दो मशीन
क्यों इस पे क्यों ना करें?
क्योंकि ये स्टैंडर्ड पे नहीं है.
ये ज़हनियत नहीं है. समझ याद आ रहा है? ये मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ ताकि ये आपको कभी ना भूलें, क्योंकि अभी मैंने आपको बता दिया ना, फिर वो हो जाएगा. ये जो मशीन है ये है क्लाइंट मशीन, इस पे ज़ैनब सर्विसेज नहीं है, तो इसको आप डिस्कवर कर ही नहीं सकते. तो जिसको आप डिस्कवर करेंगे ना, वो होगी सिर्फ ज़ैनब. इस पे पीछे जाए और यहाँ पे इसको निकाल दें, क्योंकि इसको तो आप डिस्कवर नहीं कर सकते. ये तो क्लाइंट मशीन है. तो अब आप इसमें ऐड करें सिर्फ और सिर्फ ज़ैनब. Okay, guys, please complete your home lab. How many of you have home labs? How many of you have home lab? Everyone has home lab? Farad, do you have home lab?
Yes.
No?
No, I do have home lab.
Okay, thank you. Everyone,